Marcus, a 3-1 win. What are your reflections on the series?
Yeah, delighted. To come away and get our first victory together as a squad that we've had together for sort of two series. Really delighted. We've played some really good cricket over the course of different ones. Had a bit of luck with the tosses, as we know in both sort of series that we've played here. The toss has been pivotal. But delighted for the players. We've seen so many players sort of break through and showcase what they can do in this environment. So excited from their point of view, trying to put the team together. Once we get to sort of January in India and then Champions Trophy after that.
Just from a personal perspective, how have you found your taste of being head coach?
Yeah, great fun. I've really enjoyed, to do it and to have the responsibility of sort of managing the team and looking after everybody. And it's been good fun. I've sort of everything I wanted it to be. It's pretty much been. So, delighted for me. It's just sort of given me the exposure and the opportunity to hopefully then do it a bit more in the future to come.
I saw you'd spoken to the Daily Mail about how it's giving you the taste of wanting to be England full-time coach in the future. Is it a bit weird almost having had the taste of it and now having experienced the top job and being like, right, how do I find my way back to that position?
No, I don't think so. Look, I've been managing the sort of two jobs between batting coach with the Red Bull team and then coming into this environment for the last two series. Yes, it's been great doing it. But my main focus is very much on providing with the assistant coach of the batting with the Red Bull team, and plan on that for the next period of time. I've got no, immediate future of jumping back into being a head coach. But we'll see what happens, and I'm really excited for the New Zealand trip when it come up in the next couple of weeks.
You mentioned you obviously help out the Test team with their batting. Jacob Bethell has been so impressive on this trip. He doesn't have a massive Red Bull track record to speak of currently, but from what you've seen, just how confident are you that he could make that step up if required?
Yeah, fair enough. He doesn't play that many first-class games, but what the biggest thing is sort of playing under pressure and playing against players that potentially he's not seen before. He stepped up in the Aussie series. He stepped up in this series. And we've seen a player that is attuned to playing international cricket. There's no doubt he's going to play Test cricket. It's just a case of when that will happen. And I'm pretty sure he could take to it pretty quickly as well. He's talented enough. He's got all the mental attributes that you need. And he's very skillful. So, I'm looking forward to seeing him hopefully in New Zealand and beyond from there.
I might be getting my timelines a little bit wrong here, but Bethell obviously came in for the Australian White Ball series where you were interim head coach, then got called up to that Red Bull Test side. Did you have anything to do with that selection? How did the message get to McCullum and Stokes like this is the guy?
Well, Brendan was involved in selection for all of those series as well, and obviously with Luke Wright, Rob Key and the selection people behind the scenes, I think we've been monitoring him for a long period of time and talking about him. I think once we saw him in the 100, how well he was playing, knowing what that sort of occasion that is, this was a great chance, knowing that quite a number of the main players or some of your more experienced players weren't going to be involved in these two series. So he was an obvious choice to step up and sort of put under pressure and giving him the opportunity. And it's great when that sort of happens and you can see the talent that you see in domestic also then thrive in international as well.
You've known Jos Buttler for a very long time. He's obviously had a difficult period of captain kind of over the last year or so. How pleasing has it been for yourself to see him back with a smile on his face enjoying his cricket?
Well, it's good to see him succeed. He's had a long period out, hasn't he? Obviously this calf strain's sort of niggled away for quite a number of months. So to get him back here and enjoying his cricket, captaining the team well, leading from the front with his runs and doing everything he needs to do, I think it's really important. I think hopefully this is a sort of starting block really for the team going forward with Jos leading that, and we'll have a bit more consistency with our team selection and also results. That's what we're trying to aim for now going forward. We've got a really important series in India and then a really important series of the Champions Trophy. If Jos and Brendan can sort of structure everything how they need to, no doubt Jos will be leading from the front again.
But McCullum has said kind of a bit jokingly that Buttler seemed a bit miserable in the past. Like now you've seen him in this environment. Have you seen a change in him at all? Does he seem to be kind of having that smile again?
Yeah, no, I think you've got to try and keep it all in context. It's obviously said a bit tongue-in-cheek, of course, but it's not been an easy period of time for the White Ball team or the White Ball team in general. I think it's they've had a tough period of time, but maybe this is the start of the turnaround where it's evolving. What I do know from Jos's point of view that with Brendan coming in, he's going to really enjoy working with Jos and vice versa, and they'll get the best out of each other, no doubt. So. Jos is a good guy and obviously a fantastic player and a good leader to go with it.
he didn't have the gloves this series with a view of kind of making his mind up like what he wanted to do in the future, be a wicketkeeper, be a not with this white ball team. Has any decision been made off the back of these 4.1 matches?
Yeah, no series, no decision. I think it'll be something to keep discussing when they get back home and when they're picking the squads going forward. We do have a few options who can be wicketkeeper. Obviously, you've seen Phil Salt in this. Jamie Smith's been around it. Obviously, Jos has been around. Jordan Cox is going to keep within the Test series in New Zealand. So we do have quite a number of players that could fit into that role should we need it to be. And then they'll balance it out in maybe in what the team is going to need. Do we need the extra batter, the extra bowler? You know, Jos is always there to take the gloves. Should we go back to that sort of plan?
And final two questions. First of all, England had a bit of an issue with like taking power play wickets. Kind of, if you go back to the World Cup, Saqib Mahmood has been fantastic on this tour. Just how much of a revelation has he been with the new ball?
Well, fantastic. Yeah, absolutely right. And you know, we've seen him sort of slowly coming back from his back problems over the last sort of 18 months or so. So to get him back in and performing like he has done with the new ball in this series has been brilliant. I know he was chomping at the bit to have the new ball in the ODI series in the start of the trip, but you know, he's really shown what he can do. Has been the real big, probably the difference between the sides. And sort of the way that we've got wickets in that power play at the top of the innings has always put West Indies under pressure. And he's been real the catalyst to making that happen. So great to have him back firing. Hopefully he can sort of sustain that and carry that forward going into the next sort of period of time. And we'll, you know, starting to build a good calibre of bowlers together.
You've obviously had quite a long association with the Test team, kind of working with the batters there. I imagine your emotional attachment to the white ball side's gone up quite considerably over the last couple of months. Do you have a preference at all about what you'd like the future to look like for you?
No, definitely not. I think, as I said to you, I'm very focused on the job that I'm going to be doing going back into New Zealand next week. It's quite easy to chop and change and switch back into that mode. You're right, I do have an affiliation now with the white ball team and sort of plan that together. There's no reason why that can't continue on, obviously under Brendan and being very close to it. We'll communicate over the next couple of weeks and I'll feed back all the information that I believe are relevant going forward for hopefully then he can then pick the team and a squad that's going to go to India and Pakistan and do well.
Marcus, thank you very much.
Thank you.